Hey guys, what's going on? Here's another YouTube video. That was oddly tough to say. I made some notes, so I'm gonna carry my handy dandy note checker here. So in the last video, I was talking about how I've not been running for 2 weeks due to certain issues. And the perfect video after that would be, hey guys, I'm running again. I feel great. I just ran my training block for 10K for Hamburg. But this video is not going to be that. So this video is going to be more about how I'm still not running, and I'm on my 3rd week of not running because of certain issues, which I'll get into. I was waiting for a green light and I'm still waiting. It's like when you press that light, so the pedestrian crossing, it turns green, that light, that little man. And you press it and you're like, okay, it works. And then you realize after 1 minute, oh, you didn't actually press it. And then you press it again. And that's how it kind of feels like I'm recovering again for the 2nd week. And now for the 3rd week, here I am again, making another YouTube video about how I'm not running when I would like to make a video about how I am running. How to tackle that and how to deal with real life issues. That's what this video is about. Running, training, and dealing with reality. Yeah, reality can be tough sometimes. Right. So I'm not going to pretend everything is cool. That's a pun. Everything is not cool due to I'm not running, but also due to the weather. So Europe has been hit by a heat wave. I do not wear these clothes out of some kind of fashion or because I want to show off my non-existing biceps. It's because it is so hot that I have had to just retreat from the 1st floor and the ground floor and then just go down into the basement. And the basement normally is really cool in this house. It's like a 1950s, 60s house. And the basement is half dug into the earth. So we have like windows, but it's like, like half in the earth. So that makes it super cool. And even in this room, I can just check for you. Yep, 26 degrees. And that's 26 degrees in the shade, and it just really feels like it's more like 30 degrees because it is so humid. I wanted to say some profanities there, but I'm scared YouTube algorithm might be like, boom, not allowed. Okay, sorry. It's really hot, and I cannot stress that enough. It's super frustrating. So yeah, Europe had a heat wave, and it's about 30 degrees heat wave in the beginning. So this is like 3 or 4 days ago, until it was actually more like a 40-degree heat wave. And it's actually a record. So there's a record been broken in Denmark, broken by 1.5 degrees for hitting 37 or 38. I'm just going to call it 40. 40 degrees, not because I want clicks, but just because it's easier for me to say. 40-degree heat wave. And that place where it hit the record is actually quite close to where we live, which is, yay. I guess we broke a record, but yeah, it's really not the record we want to break. I'll tell you that much. So, as I explained before, this heat wave, sorry about, yeah, it's just super disgusting just to even sit on this chair. I just feel like I'm sweating all over the place. Anyway, sorry for those details. Yeah, heat wave for me, it's not so much the heat, although that does suck. I can run in 30 degrees, I've done it before, but the humidity is what really makes it tough for me. And because of my asthma, because I can't feel like I can get enough breath in, it's already tough enough for me as it is without having... So when you have asthma bronchitis, what a lot of people think it is that you can't get oxygen in. Actually, it's getting the oxygen out. And that's because the elasticity of the lung tissue, of the alveoli, is less. So the way the lungs work is that you breathe in and you breathe out, and the way that the power gets generated is through the elasticity of the lungs. But because you have a mild inflammation due to asthma in your lungs, they're not so elastic. So you have to use your muscles, your ribs, your diaphragm especially, even your stomach muscles, your intercostal muscles, to get the breath out, actually. Super uncomfortable, especially when you're running. Yeah, there's a lot of things in it where it makes it super uncomfortable because you have to constantly focus on just getting oxygen in rather than running or focusing on your breath for the rest of your body, right? So yeah, it's that kind of weather. And due to that, and also the sleep, which has been kind of, so we sleep on the first floor, it's been kind of hot. We open the windows, and normally that does a tremendous job of cooling everything off. And luckily it has, like there was thunder and lightning storm yesterday, so luckily that has helped cool things off because there was a bit of rain. But even opening the windows is not helping now. So it's kind of terrifying. You're just slowly cooking and melting. And I look forward to when I go in the car, I can turn on the AC. I just sit there. Like yesterday, I picked up my wife from the station and we just sat in the car for like 10 minutes. And we're just like, we could have honestly sat there for 10 hours if it wasn't for the ridiculous gas prices in our gas guzzling car. So yeah, even right now, I'm like, whew, I'm feeling it because I just drank some coffee. Anyone who drinks hot coffee in a humid and hot climate, y'all know what I mean. And then I talked about my Garmin metrics. So that HRV of mine was dropping from 45, 55 down to low 30s, mid 30s. Now it's at 40. So that metric has kind of stabilized, and I would say it's hitting the bottom and is kind of stabilizing at the bottom and about to go a bit up. So I think my body is recovering. As you can see, my eyeballs, I don't know how well can you actually see my eyeballs on this? Sorry, it's a bit weird, isn't it? Anyway, my eyes are getting better. So I got the eye drops, and the eye drops have some topical steroid and like a antibacterial agent, which makes it so that the eye gets less infected. So it's not the doctor said, like, just to clarify, it was not an allergy. It was actually a immune response. So the body reacts very sharply to something in the eye. It can be some kind of allergen. It can be just spontaneous. I don't know. They don't really know, I think, but that's what their kind of assumption is. And that's gotten better due to me reacting early to my red eye. Like I just immediately went to the doctor. I was like, yo, something's wrong. And the advice from my wife, who said, like, just take a break. Don't use too much screen. Take it easy, recover and rest. And I totally did that. Normally I would just be like, oh, I got a red eye again. This is like the 5th time in, I don't know, 5 or 6 years. And pretty much once a year. And I just push through it. Like I go to vacations, I work, and I work with my eyes a lot. I work with like loops where I have to, really like concentrate a lot. Anyone who uses loops or binoculars, you know what I mean, or eyepieces on astronomy or microscopes, like it's very taxing on the eyes. And it's super painful afterwards. Like there's a sharp pain from here that comes up and a headache. Anyway, so that's getting better, thankfully. That is the silver lining, or the silver lining in the clouds, that at least I don't have to deal with having a red eye. Sorry, I'm leaning forward so much just because I'm so sweaty. Yeah. The silver lining is that my eye is getting better. So previously the red eye would pretty much destroy my life for a month at a time, maybe a month and a half. Super painful. I'm on painkillers for a month or a month and a half. Eye drops not really working, but this time, like I said, I reacted fast, and now within a week or 2, it's getting considerably better. I don't have the pain anymore. Like I can feel like, okay, it feels good. Like there's no like swelling. It's not that huge headache. I have a slight headache, but not really. That's because I'm looking at a screen over there. So, it does tend to tax the eye a bit when you're looking at something. Right, so back to the running. All these things matter. It's important to, if there's multiple things wrong, it's good to put them in lists, categorize them. And that means I have to adjust my expectations for my 10K Hamburg race on the 23rd of August, 2026. So this is the Rothenbaum race. I'm super excited. I've never done it before. I've never run anywhere else other than my home country. Now going to Hamburg for the first time. I've been to Hamburg before, but I never run over there before. Super exciting, and then super anticlimactic that I have to adjust my expectations for that. So Hamburg was supposed to be like a PB. I wanted to run it like sub 110, which for me would be an enormous accomplishment, because I honestly feel like after all the years of running, I really feel like that is something I can do, especially on a flat course. And I don't want to think about it, but hopefully it will not be humid in that 10K. So I have to adjust my expectations for the Hamburg race. And let's be honest, it's the start of July almost now. July 2026 is, almost the end of June now. So I don't really have 2 months anymore. I have like 6 or 7 weeks and stuff. And I'm still recovering. And because of the heat now, because my eye is getting better, I could have run actually a couple days ago. Here's why I didn't. So, as I mentioned in the previous video, I do not like to run in the extreme heat. We're talking about heat wave where it's hitting 40 degrees, right? And Denmark is normally more like 20 to 25 degrees. So it is a huge difference, right? But I've been to India plenty of times and there it is 40 degrees and I have been able to run. But here's the difference. My body was not recovering and coming from a period of time where my body was going through some pretty heavy stuff. I do not want to stress it with heat as well because it is already stressed with heat. I can feel it, like I'm just sweating constantly, right? And that is a low level stress on the body, but it's a constant low level stress on the body. So I could have run in the evening, but the problem was with the heat wave the last 2-3 days is that the heat was at 30 degrees at 10 o'clock at night and it was still humid as ever. And it was getting cloudy and thunderstorms and stuff. So part of me was like, should I run this late? Because it'll just destroy my sleep. So due to the heat, I'm not sleeping super well, but luckily I think I'm getting used to it. So it's like my sleep score is around 70 to 80. It's still hovering around 80 now, getting a bit higher maybe. I'm getting more constant sleep where I just sleep through everything. Not like getting up 3 times because it's so hot and you just feel the sweat in your body. But because of the heat wave, the way it is, not just the heat, but more like the humidity wave, it's like a wall of humidity. When you open the door, it's just like you get blasted in your face and you just feel like, whoa, I'm just like, this is not a fun kind of David Goggins challenge where I'm going to push myself, I'm going to run like hell, I'm going to carry the boats and I'm going to go crazy and nuts and just, run through this wall of humidity. Because I know 30 seconds in that, I'll be hitting zone 3, zone 4, zone 5. Because I want to run biomechanically sound. I do not want to shuffle. I don't want to do the duck walk. I want to run, right? And that means there'll be a lot of run walking, which for me, like I explained in a previous video, I like to run in zone 2 for a certain amount of my training block, although I'm not an advocate of running only in zone 2 or 80% or whatever. I still think it's a very good tool to use in a training block, especially when you're beginning. So I'm starting my 10K Hamburg training block. So zone 2 makes beautiful sense, right? But I do not want to duck waddle it, meaning I have to run so slow that biomechanically my joints are getting stressed and it's accruing a lot of fatigue actually. And you can feel it in your back and your hips and your legs. Then it's better to run biomechanically sound, which means you have to increase your pace so you're actually running at what your natural RPM or your natural gait is, what I would call natural RPM or gait. But that means you're stressing your respiratory system, you're getting to zone 3, zone 4. So that means you have to walk a lot. And that means that the run walk, if you let's say go for a long run for 60 or 80 minutes, that could mean 40 breaks, and 40 breaks is a lot. It could be mean even 50 to 60 breaks in this weather. I would just be doing walking more than running. And for me, that just doesn't make sense. I'd rather just take another rest day and just wait and figure out some cross training. So cross training is an option, and definitely going for a bike ride is on the program. I thought about swimming. Swimming is perfect in a heat wave, right? I was like, oh my God, yes, swimming. It's nice and cool. I get some low, my joints, they almost heal up because swimming is if you do it in a zone 2 kind of way, I'm not saying exactly zone 2, I'm just saying a low heart rate kind of way, it's really good for your body. But the problem is that because of my eye infection, when you go in the water, there's an added risk for your ears especially, and your eyes, and all the orifices on our body, basically to get an infection. I'm not going to risk it for that because I know how bad it is with my eye. It can be painful for a month and a half. And eye pain, my friends, is some of the worst pain you will ever experience in your life, as you probably know if you've had it before. Eye, tooth, face pain generally is just super excruciating. Ear pain as well. Although I never I have tetanus, but I don't have, luckily not ever had anything with my ears. So, other than when I was a kid. So, just to say that, yeah, I wasn't able to swim. That was really a bummer, actually, because I was like, oh, it's perfect time to swim. And I love swimming. I can swim like a okay breaststroke and a very kind of broken up crawl. I can do it. I can survive, but it's not great. But, you know, it gets the heart pumping, and it's good for you, and it's good for like stretching out your back and, you know, all that good stuff. But that kind of sucked, to be honest. I was like, wow, that's really unlucky. Like, I have this one thing that prevents me to doing like a thing that would be really enjoyable to do in a hot heat wave. Yeah. So what was my goal in these days? Just to stay hydrated. Like electrolytes, I use some like tablets which I dissolve, and then I take them in the morning, take them in the evening. Drink lots of water, because I do drink coffee sometimes, but in this heat wave I haven't drunk coffee at all. I have my energy drink, which I take sometimes, just to feel good and have something to look forward to. I take them before 12 o'clock because the caffeine is like 120 milligrams, I think, which is like a couple of shots of espresso, maybe more. So it's good to take it in the beginning of the day, because if you take it, let's say after 3 o'clock, it takes a long time for the caffeine to be broken down. Like, I'm just putting it in very, like, yeah, simple terms, that if you take caffeine in the morning, let's say 9 o'clock, then when you sleep by, let's say 10 o'clock or 11 o'clock, a lot of the caffeine has been broken down and you will sleep really well. Yesterday, I found myself looking at my cool energy drink. It's like half a liter, a big bottle, a big boy. I never had such a big bottle of energy drink. I was like, wow, I really want this. And it was like 6 o'clock in the evening. And then I realized, wow, if I drink this now, my sleep will be horrible. So it's just to say, keep in mind, even though you're going through like a frustrating period in your life where you're like, I want to train, but I can't really train because of first my body, and now my body's fine, but now the weather's kind of messed up, then it's good to still be good to yourself. Yeah. Don't carry around any guilt or shame because you're not working out. Sleep well, eat well, take care of yourself, just do whatever you can to make yourself feel as good as possible, even though this heat wave is like, it's like a form of torture, honestly. I'll prefer like winter to this. So I've been spending some time on the terrace as well. Like when it gets cool, like when the sun goes down around, I don't know, 9:30, 10 o'clock at night, I just go outside 1 hour on the terrace, just lie on the couch, look at the clouds. So I just get out of the house a bit, because when it gets really hot, I just stay in the cellar, and then I try and go outside. But whenever I go outside, I'm just met with this humid heat wave like I was talking about. So yeah, so this is just a testament to myself as well. Like, I'm on my 3rd week of not running. It's getting to a point where I'm like getting really worried if I can run at all for my 10K on the 23rd. I'm getting a bit like jittery, like what am I doing? What's happening? Why is this just not working out? And I will say that I'm going to stick to what I said in the last video and be like, if it's not working, the training is not feasible for whatever reasons, it's okay to defer it and say, I'm going to wait. Because this heat wave is not going to last forever. It's not going to last the entirety of July and August, right? At some point it will dissipate, or I will adapt to it, because this has been like 5 or 6 days of this heat wave now. And then I'll be simply able to run in this kind of environment. And that would be the best, right? Like, I'm admitting myself, like, it'd be fantastic if the body could just adjust to this heat wave. And then you don't care, right? Whether it's hot or cold or humid or not humid, you can just go out and run and do your training. Maybe at a slower pace, maybe you have to take more breaks or whatever, but, basically you're training. And that's ideally where I want to be. But the problem is when your body is not cooperating with you, it's tough to push it to that level, because it takes a lot of adaptations to run with heat, and especially with, oh, someone's at the door, and especially with the humidity. So with that, I'm going to let you guys go again and have a wonderful day. Remember to be patient with yourself, take your time, and whatever happens, you will train again, even though sometimes it takes a long time. All right, peace out.